heading about 9 hours west all day, and I got to the north unit of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. I've never been here. I've been to the south unit like 11 years ago. Cool geology here. It's like Badlands Formation or erosional geology basically. And look at these cool, they call them cannonball concretions. Basically water throwing through eroding sediments. Minerals start to accumulate around a nucleus and then just kind of enlarge or accumulate outwards, sort of like a snowball going downhill. Really neat. I don't think I've ever seen concretions this big. Maybe for perspective, I'll get next to one of them. Let's see. So, yeah, they're pretty darn big. And they're all throughout here. Very cool. I'm going to have fun exploring. I'm doing the scenic drive right now. It's 92 degrees and it's around 5 o'clock. So I'm going to drive around a little, see some sights from the road and the AC. And then at the end of the road, I think I'm going to hike to Sperati Point. And a little further down one of those trails to see more of the Badlands geology before heading over to the Juniper campground for camping tonight. Hopefully it cools off for camping. Look at that concretion. It eroded off this wall. It's huge. My gosh. So, yeah. Huge. Oh, bird just flew by. The other thing I like here, I used to work in Yellowstone, and there was a lot of the native sage, and there's a bunch of it here, and it just smells so good. Smells so good. I miss that smell. All right, on to the next stop. Layers in the Badlands are so pretty. This was when the Rocky Mountains started to uplift. All the sediments that eroded off the Rockies came in and filled in this area with all these different layers of sandstone, siltstone, shale. And so that's where these layers come from. So there's some fossils in here, some lignite coal, some bentonite clay. Super pretty. Here's the view from the River Bend overlook in the north unit of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Well, it's about 5:30. Still pretty hot. I'm guessing still 90. If you listen, you might be able to hear the grasshoppers' wings. There's a ton of grasshoppers here. Some hopped in my car. Nice. It's only, I don't know, less than 0.1 mile out to this overlook. And there's a shelter down here that the Civilian Conservation Corps built in the 30s. And I guess this view is what ultimately made this area a national park. Here's the shelter the Civilian Conservation Corps built to house the view or the people admiring the view. What a nice little shade. Now I understand. Shade to admire the view. stop here, and you can really see the gray layer on the top of the layers of rock. That's bentonite clay. Let me zoom in on some of it there. Does anyone know what bentonite clay is used for? Anyone who has a cat probably utilizes it a lot, and it's used to make kitty litter. Well, I'm at Oxbow Overlook, right at the end of the road at the north unit. And there's the Oxbow and the river. Looks like the sun's starting to go down. A 2-mile trail here, and it's starting to get a little cooler, maybe 85. So it should be nice. I'm just on this trail to Sperati Point, and it's pretty arid. I mean, there's grass here, so it's not as arid as further west, but pretty arid. So this trail, you're basically hiking in prairie, but the view to your side is badlands. Coming up to the Sperati Point, and looks like a pretty nice view. Yeah. I got the Badlands there. Oxbow, the Little Missouri River, which that or its predecessor carved out all these badland formations. The sun is getting low. And the wind feels good. Kind of see the wind blowing a little there. And the air just smells like sage. Hey, I just climbed up in some of the badland formations here. You can see behind me is like a cave, sort of, in the sandstone formation. And I'm up kind of high. Yep. The sun is coming down. And cool out in here. It's fun climbing around in these badlands. Hi. I'm just climbing around in some of these badland formations. It looks so cool. So pretty how the rock roads. Got the Caprock there, that's more resistant to erosion. And you can see that thick layer of it there protecting the rock underneath. And then got this here that's Caprock wore away. Look at this rock down here, it's so cool how it weathers. Look at that. It's just really neat. See what kind of... Oh, there's a little lizard. Hi, little lizard. He just blends right in with the rock. Let's see. Oh, definitely sandstone. Sandy texture. Never seen that appearance on sandstone. And got some layers of a riverbed there. Looks like Oh no, not a riverbed, but it's like angular pieces, so they weren't tumbled. Yeah, you can see the way the mud is dried and cracked. And then, oh yeah. Now I'm walking on the Little Mo Trail, the Little Missouri River Trail. It's a paved trail. You can do a small loop, 0.7 miles, or a larger loop, 1.4 miles. But this is the view. Oh, so nice. It's around 8 o'clock. Sun's really coming down. And the trail also has this brochure. Yep. There was one plant I just learned, skunk bush sumac. I just picked a leaf and I was like, I wonder why it's called skunk bush. Ooh, the leaves do smell quite bad. Not surprisingly. I am surprised there's rose hips here. They're all over. So I'm learning a bit. There's so many grasshoppers here. I wonder if you could hear them when I walk. Sounds like the shrubs are alive. Sometimes they even hit me in the face. Well, here's the Little Missouri River. It's where I'm staying. The campground is just down on the right shore there. Got a site for $14 right on the water. And I'm still walking around the Little Mo Trail. Such a nice time of night. I have to say the Little Mo Nature Trail would be an excellent trail for anyone needing a little easier surface. It's all nicely paved, no potholes. You could easily take a wheelchair down it and do the loop, and it's beautiful. Do it. Well, I'm at my campsite for tonight at Juniper Campground. And the north unit of Theodore Roosevelt. They have nice sites, just like pull-through sites. And the sun is coming down. I'm gonna have a feast tonight. I'm gonna have, let's see, salami and bacon sandwich with avocado and Dijon mustard, chips and hummus and guac, and for dessert, coconut wrap with banana, peanut butter, and honey. It's gonna be amazing. And my car's been doing good. Got the same camping setup as last year. It's full of stuff right now, but I have to move everything in the front. It's kind of a wreck. I did wash. So my clothes are drying back here that I don't dry. But got my lights strung up, and I'll take a video when it looks better. Alright, I had dinner and I got the back of my car cleared out so I can sleep in it. Put all my clean clothes away. I'll show you it looks a little better than it did. Got my solar lights going. And there's my bed, my lights, and then I move everything into the front. Let's see, I'll turn the light on in here so you can see. This is what the front looks like when I sleep in the back. And I also got the skeeter beaters on, the screens. I don't know if you can see them, but this is a screen I have on the back window. And then I have screens on each of the side windows, so I get good airflow. It's a nice night. Sun's down. Time for bed. So pretty immediately on this trail, you come into a nice shaded area. It has a bunch of these beautiful yellow flowers. I don't know what they are, but very pretty, and they look nice with the backdrop of the Badlands. So this is called Caprock Coulee, and coulees are steep, narrow valleys formed by water erosion. And so you can see those like channels there, rivulets or what they're called, and it's how water erodes the rock away. So this trail is called Caprock Coulee because the caprocks are more resistant to erosion, so they'll hold the sediments underneath in place for a while. You can see, like, there's a caprock layer right there, that dark layer, and you can tell it's thicker. Probably a sandstone versus some of the shale or siltstone beneath it. All right, well, on to this part. I've noticed all along the trails here these chokecherry trees, and usually, I'm from Maine, usually they're not. Chokecherries aren't very good or taste very good. You can eat them. The leaves and stems and pits aren't edible, but the ones here are pretty plump and sweet. The fruit is good. I'm sure my favorite little berry picker, Zeta, would approve. All right, here we go. So this trail starts to open up a little bit here and then goes down into this coulee, this river valley between the Badland formations. Oh, this rabbit was right in front of me on the trail. It's so cute. I'm just standing there, probably scared. I should keep moving on. Very cute though. It's kind of cool. In this part of the trail, you can see light pieces of petrified wood over here. So there's one. There's one. Yeah. They kind of dot the hillside, but the most prominent one is right there. So here's a big piece of petrified wood right along the trail. And it's right near the walls here where you can see this really cool piping. Basically those kind of voids there happens when rainwater drips in like a surface crack in the water. The soil saturates and it just slides out or slumps out, erodes out, and forms those kind of pipe-looking structures. Let's see, oh, there's another. See, up here as it erodes out, you can see where there was another tree stump exposed that just disintegrated. Or petrified tree stump, that is. Yeah, but this one's neat right here. Also, these are some of the first prickly pear cactus I've seen on my trip. I know I'm getting west. It's getting arid. No fruits on them though. I've never actually picked a prickly pear fruit. I think I've had a prickly pear margarita though. Well, I came down this steep ravine, and then there's this mud hole. You can tell how dry it is here from the mud cracks. You can also see where the buffalo have stepped in it and fallen in. The ranger told me on this trail there are some areas where you're coming around a sharp corner and you can't see, and sometimes there'll be buffalo there. He said, just slowly step backwards. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Well, I reached the end of the 0.8-mile nature trail, and you can either turn around and go back to the same way here or keep going. And I'm gonna keep going because you can do a 4.2-mile loop. But I think the view here is so pretty. I'm gonna go explore among those rocks for a little bit. This is kind of cool. Here you can see one of the petrified tree stumps and all of the petrified wood or rock pieces that are breaking off, and then there's a area where water drainage here, and you can see where it all's coming down, and it has a definite appearance, like kind of this coloring. You can almost see wood, grain in it where the quartz or silica filled in those cellulose spaces. Kind of neat. There's some giant pieces here. Not the prettiest of petrified wood, but very cool. You think what it took to make this. How many millions of years. Right here you can see some lignite coal, kind of a low-grade coal, and then more pieces of the petrified wood. A really big piece up here. That's a nice one. Yeah, and you can really see the wood grain in it. Oh, this is a cool example of some of that bentonite clay. Stuff that's used for kitty litter. It's got this rubbly appearance. Yeah, it's very, looks just like kitty litter. I guess it weathers like that due to when the rain falls. That's neat. There I am. I'm just exploring up in some of these badland formations. Fun stuff. Again, the colors here are so striking, how they blend together. They all complement one another. This is a good example of how really hard, fast the water runs. This is a part of the trail where the water's carving out this very steep canyon. And I've got a piece of wood here to walk over it. Alright. Hopefully this is the right way. I'm learning this trail is really not marked with any cairns. It's just sort of seeing where the footpath is. But then sometimes there's like 6 different footpaths. But it looks like there's a lot of footsteps. This is probably the main trail. Zeta, I have a few berries for you. Kind of feeling it's just which is nice because it's cooler. But hopefully not too crazy of a summer. I just came into this field and I came up from that way, so then you're saying to go this way or this way. No markers for this trail. I guess I'll choose this way for a while. This is kind of a cool section of trail. Like the views. Views over here. Go on forever. And boy, there is a piece of plastic up there. So I'm on a trail. Crest of these peaks. Nice view. Maybe I'll stop for a short snack here. Well, it's starting to rain. It doesn't look too bad. And up on the crest of this hill, I can see the road over there. So if it starts to lightning, I can always walk down the road back to my car. But I don't think it will. It is such a beautiful trail. And now I just have to decide whether to just walk the road back or do the rest of the 2.7 miles back to where my car is, not on the road. Pretty sure it's going to storm, but Here's a nice view of the structure the Civilian Conservation Corps built overlooking the river. This trail goes along the road here for a while, although it's hard to find where the trail is from that parking lot. I would say this trail is poorly marked. Definitely. None of the signs have any words or mileage. They're just pieces of wood with blank metal pieces. And there are other trails that cross, so you're like, which trail am I on? So beware if you're doing this trail, poorly marked. Jeez, these views are just epic. At this section of the trail markers are the wooden steps. I mean, such a cool trail. There's another little wooden step there. We've got a log. Very spectacular. Of course, there's these holes. And we got a couple petrified trees here. Huge one right here. Kind of see it split. There. Nice. Ridge again. A while ago, on the top of that ridge, there. Now I'm across the road. Well, I'm doing this trail a little faster than normally. I'm hiking faster because a storm has been threatening the whole time. So I'm out of breath. This is kind of cool. You can see where this trail goes through that bentonite clay and how that wears down into the light color. The temperature's still really good. I feel like I'm lucky for the cool temperature. Now the hike is starting to descend, so you can kind of see just like switchbacks all the way down, and you can hear some road noise there in the background. I think there's the road. Coming out to where my car is, across the road from the trail. There's my 4Runner. Well, this was an extraordinarily beautiful hike, but it's poorly marked. And there's lots of side trails that people have made, so you may end up following some side trails and then they just pinch off, and then you turn around and go back on a different trail. I never did thunderstorm, thank goodness, and just epic views. Would do this trail